Good morning, guys, or good afternoon, I guess it almost is. This video is going to be chicken coop upgrades and improvements. Just some things that I wanted to get done that I didn't get done in the original build series. As you can see behind me, got the coop painted, got trim pieces on. I'm going to be working on putting in a watering system so that the rainwater will go into a reservoir, and then that's going to go be piped throughout the coop inside and out. So that's going to be the main focus of this video, plus a couple other additions that I've made. And I just want to say thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and give me a like. All right, let's get to it. So the girls are doing well, and today is the first day that they actually came out of the coop on their own. This past week or so, I guess it's been about a week since I started opening the door to try to let them out. Usually I've been shooing them out of the coop. Today they actually came out on their own, so you can see them out here foraging. I have some kale that I picked, some extra vegetables, you know, kitchen cuttings, some cilantro over there, and then they got some scratch around. So they're doing good. Glad that they finally came out of the coop on their own. Now I just have to get them to go back in. So one of the biggest changes that I did was I made this new step system. So the ramp that I had on there, which this is a piece of it down here, was very narrow and very steep. And I think that may have been part of the reason why they were not coming out. So this is, you know, kind of a cool little step system that I made. Everything is, you know, just connected together, comes down. Basically each step gets about 3 inches narrower. So the top one is 24 inches and it's 12 inches out, 21 inches, 12 inches out, 18 inches, 12 inches out, 15, and then 12 by 12. Then it goes down to a little bit of a ramp there and then onto a rock. Just something different. So that's probably the biggest new thing that I did so far. And then I went ahead after painting this. This is coated with the same water decking, waterproof stuff that I put on the inside of the tank or the coop, just to, you know, make this last as long as it can. So it basically makes these waterproof. And then of course the coop is painted, you know, our awesome blue color, so it matches everything else. The shed, the house, the pump house, the dog house. Another little addition that I did was I added these solar lights, which are actually pretty cool. They basically just top the fence posts, and then on this side of the fence post I have these plastic caps that I got that are on top. So because it rains so much here, fence posts have a tendency to start rotting from the top if the rain is constantly falling down on them. So I got those plastic caps to help prolong them a little bit. And I also coated the top of these, the gate and these rails with that same waterproof coating stuff, just to try and make it last longer. Eat, girls, eat. So I've had them for about 2 weeks now. So they should be right around 5 months old, I guess, because they were 4.5 when I got them. So anytime in the next 2 to 4 weeks, they will start laying eggs. So we'll see. All right, so on top of my FJ there, you see a piece of 4-inch ABS. You see some rain gutter and some 1/2-inch piping, and a 2x10. So the 2x10, I'm going to be making a box for a dust bath. So that's basically just going to be a square box. I'm going to fill it with sand and dirt, and then that's where they can go in and take dust baths. So that's one of the things I'm going to be doing in this video. And then the next thing is going to be installing the the gutter, it's going to go into this piping, and this pipe is basically going to run on the backside of the coop, and it's going to have a 90 coming from the gutter and then going into a series of 1/2-inch piping, which is the small piping you see here, and then those are going to go into chicken waterers that I bought. The one that I got, the bucket that has the little like the troughs on there, they don't seem to be doing too well on that. I don't know, they don't seem to be, I guess they haven't figured out how to make it work. So there's a little yellow tab in there. It kind of looks like the center of a flower. They're supposed to peck at it, and then it releases water, and then they can drink. So every time I go in there, those reservoirs are always empty, so I'm always filling them, you know, using my finger to fill the reservoir. So I'm worried about them not getting enough water. So I'm switching to a different style, which you guys will see in this video, of the chicken water, which I haven't got them yet. I think they're supposed to be here early next week, or maybe like Wednesday next week. So this video will just be over that time. So I will work on the projects that I have, that I can do, and then parts of it are going to have to wait until those pieces show up. And then basically what's going to happen, let me walk over to the coop here and I'll kind of point it out. All right, so the rain gutter is going to get attached here. And then basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to cap both ends. And then on the bottom, I'm going to be cutting a hole. And then that 4-inch piece of ABS is going to get mounted to the wall here. And it's going to be the full length of the coop. There will be a 90 here that'll be underneath the gutter and then go into the pipe. It's going to basically go the length of the coop. There will be a 90 on this side, and then it's going to reduce from the 4-inch down to a 1/2-inch PVC line. From that PVC line, it's going to go into the coop. There will be, 90s and then a valve right here too, so I can shut it off if I need to. It's going to 90 inside the coop. It's going to run along the 2x4 that's inside here at the 2-foot mark, which you'll see on the inside. It'll run in, it's going to run along the wall on the inside, and I'll have probably 3 of those waterers in there just spaced out. It'll 90 back out of the wall, and then from here it's going to go at an angle down to the bottom. It's going to go through this plate. It will go underneath the coop, and it's going to come out on this side, and then I'm going to run a line across the whole front of the coop here, and then there will be probably 5 or 6 watering stations here. And these are basically the ones that I'm getting. They have the little metal like nipple that they basically peck at, and then it drops water. So those will be all along here. I'll have a valve down here at the end with a flush out. So if I need to flush out the whole system, everything's going to be one tube basically, and then I can flush out the system if I need to clean it or anything. So that's the basic premise of what I'm going to be building. I'll start taking some measurements and getting some pieces cut. First thing, probably actually I'll get the gutter mounted. All right, so the layout of the piping, this is a 4-inch to 3-inch ABS pipe. So this 3-inch section is going to go up underneath the rain gutter. And then I will end up putting a screen over this. And then also this screen here on top, this actually goes on the gutter itself. So I want to try and keep this as clean as possible since this is going to be their drinking water. So there will be this screen on the top to keep leaves and birds and stuff out. And then there will be another finer mesh screen on here that the water is going to drip through so that I can clean that off if need be. It's going to go into here. There will be the 4-inch pipe that'll run the length of the coop. And then there will be a 90 that'll go downwards. And in that 90, there's this reducer that goes down to 1.5 inches. And then this reducer, which goes from 1.5 inches down to 1/2 inch, will go in there. So it'll be something like that. 1/2-inch pipe will come out of there. There's going to be a union and a valve so that I can shut it off if need be and remove it. From there, the 1/2-inch line will get dispersed throughout the coop. So I got a bunch of 90s, a couple other fittings. my valve for the very end, which will be on the opposite side of the coop. So if I need to flush the whole system, I can just open this up. So one more thing I'm going to do real quick is I'm cleaning out their coop, putting in some fresh bedding. So basically what I'm going to do with this hay, because it's full of, you know, chicken manure, I'm starting to plant some more grass seed around the outside, and then also I'm going to be doing it on the inside of the run. So I'm basically going to take this and I'm going to lay it down over where I'm putting the grass seed, just so it'll help it grow, and hopefully I can get some good grass established in here. All fresh bedding, and then you can see the old bedding there I spread out on the outside of the fence, and I threw down a bunch of grass seed in this whole area here. There's a little bit of dirt, and it's the creeping grass type, so once it gets established, it'll actually start growing into the coop area or to the run area. All right, so the gutter is mounted. I have the leaf screen on the top, so this is done. Now I will start assembling the 4-inch tube here with the 90s and get my measurements to figure out where that's going to go. Yes, I know, you're probably saying to yourself, Jason, you're wearing a hat. You never wear hats. Actually, I do wear hats quite a bit, just I guess I've never really worn them on camera before. This is actually one of my own hats. Has my logo on it, and you know, it's a nice flex fit cap. And of course, if you want one, they're available on my website. Ting! Okay, so since we are doing ABS, then we need to use the ABS cement, which is what this is. I think that it will work because this piece here is going to be transitioning from ABS to PVC, but I think that it'll be okay. This is not a high pressure system. It's basically a gravity fed water system. And then from here, we will use a different glue on the PVC going throughout the system. Okay, guess I wasn't really paying attention. So this is a 4-inch ABS pipe, and this is a 4-inch to 3-inch coupler, but it's the same size, so I need to get the coupler that puts these two pieces together, which means I need to make another trip to Home Depot, which won't happen today. So I'm going to switch directions and start working on the board here that I'm going to make into the dry bath box. Okay, so this is a 2x10 piece of wood. Most of the stuff that I've seen suggests a 10 to 12 inch deep box, and the box to be about 20 inches by 30 inches roughly. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this 10 foot, 2x10 into, 220, 230 inch pieces, make a box. I'm going to put a bottom on it, and then I'm going to mix in some, which if you can see here, I have some sand, and then I also have some sawdust that I've been saving in a 5-gallon bucket. So I'm going to mix that together, and I'm also going to mix in some dirt. I have to find like some dry dirt. I may just end up using some of the stuff around here. Just something for them to bathe in. Now, some people will say to put diatomaceous earth in the chicken bath, and you can add a little bit of that. You don't want to put a lot though, because it's actually bad for the chicken's respiratory system. Just like for people, if you breathe in diatomaceous earth, it's bad for us as well. So of course it's bad for the chickens. It does help with mites and stuff for the chickens when they bathe. And then I also saw a couple other things that said it's really good to add in dry lavender and dried lemon balm into the chicken bath. It helps them out because both of those herbs are pest deterrents for the chickens, so it'll help them be healthier, I guess. So if I can find that, dried lavender and dry lemon balm, I will crush some up and put it into the bath. So we'll see. That's something I can add later on. So I'm going to get started building the box out of this piece of wood. Yeah. Okay, one thing I am going to do real quick though is I'm going to mark this hole, or mark the spot on the gutter here and drill the hole, because now that the gutter's installed, if it does rain tonight, I don't want this thing filling up with water and just ripping off from the weight. So I'm going to go ahead and mark where this pipe is going to be, which will be about in this position right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the hole drilled in there. So if it does rain tonight, any water that goes in here will just drop down to the ground. All right, so that is done. And I guess we'll see how they like it. I mean, this is something that I can always change it up. I can add other stuff to. We'll just see how they use it, and if they use it, and if they like it. And can always swap it out. So this is basically just right under the chicken coop, so it should stay pretty dry. If I notice that it does get, rain or moisture into it, I may add, a couple side walls, that'll go up to the bottom and kind of enclose it in just a little bit. But I'd prefer to leave it open like this. That way they can just jump in there from any side. So we'll see how it does.
Not too bad.
Everyone in. The dogs are so interested. All right, so it's getting dark. I just wanted to show these lights, which are not showing up super well because this other light turned on. Here, if I stand with my shadow, you can see it. These lights are pretty cool, solar powered. They were about $21, I think, for the set on Amazon. I'll put a link, Amazon Associates link down in the description. Pretty cool though. They fit on a 4-inch 4x4 or a 5x5 post. Okay, it's the next day and I made it to Home Depot and I got a couple of these sleeves. So now these, so those fit into there, and that fits onto the pipe that's right there. So now I'm going to start putting some of these pieces together and get the main tank part measured out for the length of the coop. All right, so I have this whole end assembled. It's got the ring on there, the 90 with the reduction, another reduction, and then another reduction. I have the other side here, so that's basically the end that's going to go right under the gutter. And then I marked it, which I don't know if it's showing up there. So this line is actually the end of the coop. So I put a line back here, which is about where I want this to be, because the pipe will go into here about 3 inches or halfway of this collar. So then that will be the tank. This will have to be oriented opposite of that 90, or it's going to be probably like a 45 away. And then I'll start connecting the PVC to this connection. All right, so now that this pipe is mounted, I'm going to be switching over to PVC. So I'm switching over to the different kind of glue, which is the red hot blue glue, which is the one I like to use the best. There are 2-part ones where you have a primer and a glue, which I don't really see a point of, but that's what I'm going to use. So basically what's going to happen here is I'm going to come out of this port here. I have a union, I have a valve, and I have a couple 90s. So what's going to happen is it's basically going to come out of here. I'm going to do very short piece, a 90, there will be a union, a short piece, the valve, and then a short piece to the 90. And then the pipe is going to go into the coop right here, or right around this area. It's basically going to run inside the coop, and then it's going to run along the wall on the inside, and I'm going to put some of the chicken waterers that fit onto this 1/2-inch Schedule 40 pipe. All right, so this part is basically done, and I'm going to stop it right here because I have not received the little 90s with the chicken watering nipples on it. So I'm going to wait till I get those in, which they're coming in this week. But basically, the next piece on here will be a 90. It's going to go inside. There will be another 90, and then it'll run along the wall. And I'm going to have, I think, 3 or 4 of the watering nipples in there. Then it's going to pop out of the wall down here. It's going to have another 90. It's going to come back at an angle all the way over to here. It's going to go underneath here, go to the other side of the coop, and then it's going to run the length of the coop on the other side with about 6 nipples on it. And then on this end, on the other side, I will have another valve so that I could flush the whole system that way. All right, I have a 5-gallon bucket, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it into the gutter, and I want to fill up this tube. I just want to kind of see what the volume of this system is going to be. I think it'll probably hold this 5-gallon bucket of water just in the tube that is here right now, or pretty close. So I have the valve shut down there. You can see that valve is closed. And I also want to see how this tube does with the weight of the water in it. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the water in, see how this is, and then I'll just open the valve and drain it all out. But this is also good because if there's days when there's no rain or not enough rain, I can always just spray the hose on here and then fill this system up. All right, so it held pretty much that whole 5-gallon bucket. I know I didn't have it filled up to the very top, and I spilled a little bit, but it's in there. I mean, I didn't get any overflow from here, because basically that's what would happen is when this system is full, this would overflow right here and just fall down to the ground at that point. So right now that's, 5 gallons, and that's not even counting all of the, the additional tubing that'll be in here. So that's going to be quite a bit of water, which is good. That's what I was hoping for. And then I will, of course, paint all this because that black pipe in the sun will get really hot, and I don't want the water to be super hot. So, I mean, it'll probably get warm anyway. If it does, I may end up putting some kind of a little cover over this, but I think it'll be okay by the time it cycles through the rest of the tubing. So we'll see how it goes. It's something that I can always change. So I don't see any leaks at all, which is good. Ooh boy, she's got a cookie frog. Look. She doesn't want to share. Velociraptors. Good morning. Morning, ladies. Oh, don't slip. There we go. All right, the parts that I ordered came in, and this is basically what it looks like. So it's a 1/2-inch PVC fitting, and then it has this little almost 1/4-inch looking that's threaded, and then this nipple threads in. So you get the 2 pieces, which the nipple is this. So this is replaceable if anything ever should get damaged, or if it needs to be replaced. And then that's the piece. You can see the threads in there barely. So I'm going to start putting this together for the inside of the coop, and then we'll put that piece in. All right, this is piped in now, going to the inside, runs down the inside wall, comes out here. This is all glued in. And then here's the inside. Everything's all glued up. There's 4 nipples in here. And then this feeding box I'm going to move maybe to this corner over here, just so it's away from the water, because I don't want water falling into the feed box. Or maybe I'll just put it right in the middle. Maybe I'll end up just putting it right in the middle. That'll be a better spot for it. So now it's time to continue. Down underneath the coop, you can see that piece of PVC coming through. So there's going to be a 90 there, a 90 on there. It's going to come down here, cut across, and then go to the front, and then it'll be coming across here. Okay, so I messed up. Well, I didn't really mess up. I did something a different way, and I had the amount of parts accounted for to do it the way that I thought originally. So this is going to be delayed yet again. But it's almost done. Let me show you what I'm talking about. What's up, girls? No, I don't have food for you. I'm just videotaping. Okay, so my original plan, this 90 was going to go at a 45 down to there, and then it was going to 90 through this piece of wood, go to the other side. So I decided that that was going to look weird, so I ended up just bringing it straight down. But by doing that, I ended up using 2 more 90s than I had planned to, because if this would have went to the corner, it would have just went straight through, came out the other side, there would have been a 90 there. But now there's a 90 on the inside here, there's a 90 on the inside here, then it goes across. So let me show that. All right, that is the 90 that comes through, like I was talking about on the other side. It runs to this corner, there's another 90 comes through, and then it comes out on this side to a 90. So this drops down, and basically what I did is I just put the valve here because I want to be able to give them water on the inside of the coop, since I already redid the plumbing in there, but I needed to cap this. So what is going to happen here, I was basically 2 90s short, like I was explaining on the other side. So this will come down to about here. I'm going to cut it. There will be a 90. It will shoot across to that side. And most likely I'm going to end up adding in a board here to attach this pipe to, just so it doesn't get saggy or anything like that. When I cut this off, then this small section that's left on the valve will end up going into the 90 on that side. Then there will be a pipe coming out of the bottom and a 45 shooting out towards the fence. So that will be the ultimate plan that it will be once it's done. But this video is starting to run kind of long, and this was just supposed to be an update video. And I ended up just showing, a lot of the detail of doing the plumbing system for the coop. So I'm going to go ahead and just end this video right here. I will show this. I will have other videos coming up. Obviously, I'm making videos on everything that I'm doing. So in another video, I will show this section here done, and then you guys will see the complete system. So the pieces for this system that I bought on Amazon, I will go ahead and I will put in the description with my Amazon Associates links, and then that way, if you guys are doing a similar system, you can get this the same setup. It was fairly inexpensive, so that pack that I got was 10 tees with the little nipples in there. and it was pretty cheap. I want to say it was like $10 or maybe $20 at most. So that link will be in the description, as well as the link for the solar lights and anything else that I used in here that I ordered from Amazon. I think the majority of the stuff I ended up getting from Home Depot. But anyway, like I said, this video is getting very long. If you've watched it all this way, thank you very much for watching it all the way. I will see you guys on the next video. I will be starting the next project, which is going to be more plumbing, actually. But we'll talk about that on the next video. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet. I'm trying to build it up. And give me a like if you liked it. If you didn't, then don't. I'll see you guys on the next video. Aloha.